answer my calls, man.
Well, quit calling her. Give her some space. Just forget about it for a while. I'm telling you, Bro Magazine specializes in giving relationship advice to single men.
That's why they're still single. We're just keeping it casual, man.
Casual. You do know the C word means two different things, right? Casual for a guy means wearing jeans to work. Casual for a girl means she's got your dick in a safe and only she's got the combination. That was in our November issue.
So when do I talk to her?
I don't know when, but make sure it's in a public place. Preferably an airport, because they got metal detectors and shit.
I really screwed up.
You broke bro rule number 4, man. That's a big one. Sex with the ex.
Hey, Kimberly.
Hi, Gabriel. How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for being on the Red Booth Show.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Definitely. Well, I've been checking out all of the seasons of East Los High, and it looks like it's been a really fun adventure for you.
Yeah, it has been. It really has been, you know. 4 seasons of the show, 5 Emmy nominations, and every summer we just get bigger and bigger and better, so it's awesome.
That's amazing, and I can see why, because the show definitely has a very authentic feel, and I definitely think you're an amazing actor, so I'm really excited for you and for the show and all the awards you guys have been winning.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's you know, it's like you said, it's a different show. It's very relatable. It's real, and it's fun. It's more than anything, it's addicting. So it's good.
Yes, it's a very addicting show. I think people will get hooked as soon as they start watching the first episode. And it's great for the Latino community here. It must be so amazing to be part of such a huge Latino show. You know, it's very diverse, but it's definitely based in, I think, the Hispanic community here in Los Angeles, which must be wonderful.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's you know, being from LA. I was born in East LA, but I was raised in South Central LA.
Oh wow!
So I know these characters, you know, I know these situations. I've seen it. I've went through high school with it. So you know, being a part of you know, a show that touches on these experiences, that not only as a Latino audience, but like it's a to the general audience. You know, it's the storylines are so relatable. You know, so it's great.
Totally.
And of course, being an all-Latino cast too is awesome.
I'm wondering, yeah, with your growing up here in LA, how realistic do you think these scenes are? Is it close to real life?
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. Like, you know, some of the storylines and with some of our characters, the stuff that they find themselves involved in, like, you know, I've had buddies that, you know, had a baby when they were like seniors in high school, you know. So and that's Ceci's case in our show. So and that's just one, obviously, you know, all the other stuff that goes on, the drama, the love triangles,
the baby mama drama,
the baby mama drama, yeah. So yeah, it's true to life.
Well, I think it's fantastic. I think it's very authentic. I'm really excited for the show, and I'm really looking forward to the next season. Can you give us any clues about what's to come?
For the 4th season, you know, this season, the characters and the stories, you know, are crazy. You know, our dance team, the Bomb Squad, they go off to dance camp, and they compete with some real heavy competition up there. And of course, Jacob is still involved with the the love triangle of things. And he makes some choices this season that have some heavy consequences. So you'll definitely see a different side of Jacob this season. So there's some huge cliffhangers at the end of this season. So.
Well, all right, we'll have to stay tuned. And by the way, there's a ton of dancing on this show. Do you ever get involved with the dancing part of it?
I'm.
You don't dance in the show?
No,
Okay.
I'm not involved in the dancing. I date one of the dancers. But don't get me wrong, I could dance. I would like to be a part of the Bomb Squad. I know it's funny because we talk about that with our writers and stuff. And they're like, when is Jacob gonna make his Bomb Squad debut? So.
So that would be your dancing debut.
Yeah.
And you actually do have a history in sports as an athlete, don't you? And you were discovered playing basketball, right?
Yeah. You know, I grew up playing sports. You know, soccer was my first love, and my uncles and my dad played professionally, and that's all I knew. Yeah, that's all I knew, and that's all I ever wanted to be. And then I was 16 when I got into acting. You know, I was at a park playing basketball, and the casting director saw me, and she was like, "Oh, you know, you should audition." And my brother was with her, and he had auditioned. And he was like, "I didn't want to do it. I thought it was a scam," you know. And then he convinced me. He convinced me for like 10 minutes. He's like, "Gabe, just do it, man. You never know." We talk about this, like me and him talk about it all the time. Like, you just never know. So I did the whole thing. You know, I went through the process, and I went to the callback. Third callback, fourth callback, and then a month after the whole process, they called me and they said, "Hey, Gabe, we want to offer you the role of Tito." And I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, it's been crazy.
Like, how often does someone get discovered just at a park?
That almost never happens like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those crazy stories, you know. But it's been a blessing, and I've been rocking with it ever since.
I'm so excited for you. And also, I know you have the new Planet of the Apes movie coming out soon. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, Planet of the Apes comes out next summer. War for the Planet of the Apes. I wrapped that up earlier this year. And I can't say too much because you're going to get me in trouble, but just know that it's going to be a lot of action. It's going to be a lot of crazy things going on in this film, and it was fun. It was fun working with Woody Harrelson and, of course, Andy Serkis and Matt Reeves, our director.
Wow.
It was an experience for sure, and it's I can't wait for you guys to see.
That's another wonderful legacy for you to be a part of, and I'm very happy for you. And I have one last question. So far on East Los High, out of all of the scenes that you've shot and everything, what was the most exciting or the most fun for you in terms of shooting?
That is a great question. The most fun and exciting scene I've ever shot. Damn, I gotta really sit down and think about that one. You know, what I would say is this. Just being able to have the freedom that Carlos Portugal and Carlos Reza, they give us, you know, because, you know, we get to live in the moment, be in these moments, and a lot of times you don't really see it when you're reading the script, but when you finally get out on the set and they kind of let you go out there and explore, and those are the moments that we create and ends up being the most.
Oh, so they let you go off script, like ad-lib
and
stuff?
Yeah, like off script, kind of just like, you know, go out there and explore it and see what happens within the moment. And those are always the most, you know, it's like creating magic. You know, I call it magic. You know, and that's why we do it. You know, for those moments, and that's the best part about it, is experiencing that, and you see it. You know, you see it on screen, and even on set, you can feel it too. So that's the best part for sure.
That's amazing. Well, Gabriel, thank you so much for coming on the show. I wish you so much success, and I hope everybody tunes into the next season and enjoys your new movies that are coming out as well.
Thank you, Kimberly. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks so much. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
All right, you too. Take care.
Grind me thirsty, grind me thirsty, grind me.
We urge you to speak up and give someone with no voice a voice.
We do what we need to do to survive.
Where were you last night?
How about we meet up later and I'll help you out?
So what do you want? I want to win. I'll dance with Caleb.
not buying drugs.
But you said you'd do anything.
Just busted my back, remember? Grind me thirsty, grind me thirsty, grind me thirsty. Get on, 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 get on.
I really wanted to put a deck on my house.
The floor was creaking and there were cracks in the wall.
I had them put in walls in my basement.
Well, the whole thing was done on time, on budget, and not a day of work was missed.
Alpha Structural is a top-rate company. I'd recommend them to anybody.
If you live in a hillside home and gravity is pulling you towards the edge of the cliff, I recommend you call Alpha.
It was a real pleasure to work with Alpha.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Injection you got. It's a nanite explosive. It's the size of a rice grain, but it's powerful as a hand grenade. You disobey me, you die. You try to escape, you die. You otherwise irritate or vex me, and guess what? You die.
I'm known to be quite vexing. I'm just forewarning you.
Lady, shut up! This is the deal. You're going somewhere very bad to do something that'll get you killed. But until that happens, you're my problem.
So was that like a pep talk?
Yeah, that was pep talk. Grab what you need for a fight. We're wheels up in 10.
You might want to work on your team motivation thing. You heard of Phil Jackson?
Yeah.
He's like the gold standard, okay? Triangle, bitch. Study.
We all got in a room together and we worked probably for about a month. Everyone going through, and we would do scenes once in a while, but it was really diving in and understanding the low self-esteem of these characters and how their low self-esteem drove them into the lives that they've created for themselves, you know, and the questions of what makes somebody a bad guy. And that was always one of the questions that was at the forefront for everybody. What makes someone a bad guy? And we sort of landed on the separation between being a bad guy and being evil.
Dr. Moon.
Enchantress.
Jesus Christ.
Meet the Enchantress. Everything we know about her is in your briefing packs. She's walked this earth for a very long time and will likely be here when we're long gone.
This meeting is now a magic show?
Magic or not, this girl can do some pretty incredible things. Go get it, girl. How about a little something from the Weapons Ministry Vault in Tehran?
We've been chasing these plans for years. Please don't touch me. Please don't touch me.
Thank you, we'd like Dr. Moon back.
She's obviously looking for some excitement in her life. She definitely finds it in more ways than one. You know, she's a character who'd never been in love and who'd never really experienced so much because she spent so long, you know, getting good at her job and finding like life in that. And I think for the first time she was living a life that she kind of wanted. She found love. She obviously had, you know, this big part of her that she couldn't control. But I think her whole life had been kind of controlled. I don't really remember seeing a movie where, you know, the women got such important, you know, badass roles in a sense where they were always kind of the sidekick or the kind of love interest or, you know, obviously there are more male characters in this movie, but the women, I remember reading it and I was like, oh my God, the girls have the best lines. Like they come out and they're just unforgiving and extremely strong. I do think of them as the same character, but obviously it's two very opposite sides. I do like to think of it more as like, it's like a schizophrenic thing. It's like a, you know, a double life, multiple personalities, I guess. But I think it's funny because for everyone that watches it, you know, we all have two sides of us, maybe more. And I feel like everyone can kind of relate to that, like a good and an evil.
I really wanted to put a deck on my house.
The floor was creaking and there were cracks in the wall.
I had them put in walls in my basement.
Well, the whole thing was done on time, on budget, and not a day of work was missed.
Alpha Structural is a top-rate company. I'd recommend them to anybody.
If you live in a hillside home and gravity is pulling you towards the edge of the cliff, I recommend you call Alpha.
It was a real pleasure to work with Alpha.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. How could you not love him?
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna kill me, Mr. J?
What? Oh, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you. Really, really
There's something about the Joker. I didn't realize that the Joker was 75 years old. I mean, the story of the Joker. I didn't realize he had been written about for 75 years, and that there were so many different variations of the story and who he was and origin stories and all of that. So I learned a lot about it.
I know that. And I appreciate that. That's what I'm hoping is to do me just a little itsy bitsy favor.
Cut. Nice. All right, Captain Dick.
Dr. Harleen Quinzel is who Harley Quinn was before she became Harley Quinn. And she was working at Arkham Asylum. She's a psychiatrist, and that's where she met Joker and fell for Joker. And then born out of that was the transformation into Harley Quinn. And yeah, so you see in the film, you see Dr. Quinzel and you see Harley. So you see the before and after. And we tried not to make it. I didn't want it to be as if she had a body swap. When her skin got bleached, she suddenly is a totally different person. I think there's definitely, you can always see a bit of Dr. Harleen Quinzel in Harley Quinn. And I kind of played it anyway that Harley is a bit schizophrenic, so she has voices in her head, and one of her voices is Dr. Quinzel. So she's always present. People seem to really relate to the flawed characters, and I think it's important not to smooth over that and try and make them perfect, especially when they need to be a hero. You know, I think a mistake is to try and make the hero like the squeaky clean, you know, good guy, whatever.
Boss, we got people up here.
I'm on my way.
Amanda, we have hostiles up ahead.
Flag, get out of there.
We're not here to fight them. We know that doesn't work.
Copy that.
Hey, I like these odds, mate. You just say the word.
Come on.
Yeah, hold that thought.
Rick, why do they look like that?
Stay cool. To hell are they? You cut and run, I'll blow your head off.
Boomer's a really, I mean, you know, he's a kind of, he's on his own, like, track. He couldn't really care less who these guys are. He doesn't need them, and he doesn't care if they need him. You know, he's there to get in, take what he needs and get out as quick as possible. And there's a funny sort of cowardly, like, quality to him in that sense. I mean, he's a bad dude, and he can handle himself, but yeah, he's not really interested in saving the day.
This is a world that doesn't exist, so it's from his mind. It's an imagination. So, you know, characters, villains, you know, just what the sets would look like. He's created a lot of it. A lot of the artwork that's even on our patches or, you know, in the cities is from his mind. He sits there and draws this stuff. So it's pretty fascinating for him to do that. And then I think, secondly, is he flips the stereotypes of superheroes. So what this film does so brilliantly is it immediately flips it on its head, and you go, now you're in a moral dilemma. You go, well, who is the bad guy and who is the good guy? You know, are these villains the good guy or the bad guy? You know, I mean, it makes you think a little more. It's smart.
You're late.
Yogata.
This is Katana. She's got my back. She can cut all you in half with one sword stroke, just like mowing the lawn. I would advise not getting killed by her. Her sword traps the souls of its victims.
Harley Quinn, nice to meet ya. Love your perfume. What is that? The scent of death?
Koroska.
Whoa, easy, cowgirl. Ain't that kind of a mission. Have a seat.
She seems nice.
I started off character building by reading Katana's comic and getting to know who she was and where she came from and her background and everything. But it all really came into reality, and I felt good about it once I started the physical process of becoming Katana, because so much of her character comes from, you know, her martial arts background and her, you know, katana skills and all of that. So it helped a lot to go through the fitness training during pre-production. We went through 1 hour of fitness training and then a couple hours of, for me, sword fighting training, and then more with martial arts. So, you know, physically looking like the character helped, but also being able to do all of the moves and go through all of the action on my own, really, that's when it felt like I was truly becoming Katana.